Hello everyone, my name is Lazat Kinesova and I'm a peer advisor at Academic Advising Unit. And I welcome you to today's session about a new social life. Today we'll have 4 mentors who will give presentation about the experience of combining academic and social life at Nazarbayev University, of joining clubs and finding their dream projects. So each of them will give a small presentation, and after the presentation, you can ask them your questions. You can write them in the chat or unmute yourself after the presentation. We will start with we will start with Dameli Koshubаева. She is a senior world languages, literature and culture student, and she will give her presentation about the difference in holding a leading position in a student club and being a minister in student government. Please welcome Damelia.
Thank you very much, Lazat, for your kind introduction. Let me share my screen so I could share my presentation. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes. Okay. So as Lazat has mentioned, today I will talk about the difference between being a leader in a student club and in the student government ministry. So last year I used to be the co-captain of a new cheerleading team. And currently I'm the Minister of Culture at the student government. So here in the middle, you can see the picture of us on the basketball match between our university and the medical university. And on the top and the bottom, you can see the pictures from the team buildings of the student government. Sorry. Oops. Okay, so my presentation would consist of 3 key differences that I found in working in these 2 student organizations, and I will discuss it cheerleading first and then Ministry of Culture. So the first difference that I would like to mention is working behind the scenes versus working on stage. So with cheerleading, we had constant performances. I think at some points when there were a lot of events, we had performances every week, sometimes even a few performances every week. And all of these performances, they provided instant gratification for my members. Therefore, motivating them was not that hard because they knew that there was a performance coming up, and when they will perform, they will get applause and people will take pictures of them and videos of them, and it would all be very fun. In the Ministry of Culture, it's a bit different because we do more behind the scenes work. We're more of an administrative unit. Therefore, when we do certain events, you might not see us, you might not see our faces or our presence, but we are the ones, we are the people behind the scenes who are organizing the whole thing. And also we are the ones who might solve or support other student clubs. But again, it's not that hard. It's not that easy to see us working as people. Therefore, in these type of situations, as a leader, it might be a bit more difficult to motivate the members because the driving force in here is just their mere passion to work, their passion to help students, to help other people, to help their community. But they don't get that instant gratification that we get in cheerleading. Then the second point that I will touch upon is having acquaintances. So again, I'll start out with cheerleading here. Fun fact, this is a picture from the national championship, cheerleading national championship in Kazakhstan. So we saw a lot of various teams from other universities and also from the city in general, like from sports centers. So in cheerleading, what is kind of underwhelming is that your acquaintances are limited more to your team. Of course, you would have like friends from other clubs that you might participate in events together, or you might also have some connections with people from the administration, for example, people from the sports center who usually financially support us, or maybe the members of the DSA. But it is nothing compared to working in the student government. In the student government, you have a huge team. Therefore, it's less limited in terms of acquaintances. There are approximately 90 of us, so you always have a person to talk to share your ideas. But in cheerleading, our team was, I think, maximum of when I was a captain, we had 16 people, so that was the maximum. We couldn't have any more, because in that case that meant that we would have only certain people performing, because there's no stage um, that could fit all of us, so we had to keep a limit. But then the student government, it's different, since there are so many people and so many different branches. You have more people to talk to. Also, more importantly, I guess, is that you are more connected with the members of the administration, not only the I guess not only the people that you see like working close to you, but people from the higher levels of administration, like the vice president and sometimes even the president of the university. So you have more options in that regard. Also, what's interesting about the student government is that we get contacted by the members from outside organization quite a lot. For example, we get contacted by other universities, by companies such as BI Group, or the various institutions like the institutions of fatherhood, and other medical organizations. But with cheerleading, it's not as widespread. I mean, an interesting highlight from my time that I was a captain is that we were contacted by the Football Federation of Astana, and they asked us to perform on their Astana Football League. So that was, I guess, one of the only times that we were contacted by outside organization. Of course, we were also contacted by the Federation of Cheerleading in Kazakhstan when they invited us to the national championships. But in general, it's not as much as in the Ministry of Culture. And then finally, my third point that I would like to discuss is the risks in being a leader of such organizations. So in cheerleading, in general, we can say that the risks are not as big when you look at the whole picture. They're quite small scale because they concern only your members. And you have, as I said before, you have a limited number of members. It's not that many usually. So the risks usually come just to your members. But of course, the risks are quite big. I mean, I can maybe you can see in this picture we're doing a поддержка, so we're putting the person up on our body and lifting them up, and then from this position we usually throw the person up in the air and catch them. So of course here your members are prone to injury. Therefore, as a leader of a team like that, or like a dance team, or just any kind of club where you do these kind of stunts, it's very important to educate your members a lot and practice a lot. Don't start throwing people on your first like tryouts. You have to make sure that they're strong enough to do those tricks. And of course, it is kind of difficult as a captain because you might be scared that if a person gets injured, it's your fault. In this case, I can say that you don't have to worry as much because yes, you're a leader of the organization, but still every individual in your team is a student, a fully functioning person, an adult, most of them. So they have to be careful themselves. Of course, there were some instances even during my time when my members got injured. Thankfully, it wasn't that bad. Like they didn't break anything. Sometimes there were like sprains that they got over in a week or two. But still, as a leader, I have to say that you feel very bad. You feel like it's all your fault. You feel like you could have prevented it. But in these type of situations, you have to understand that not everything is preventable, especially in these type of activities, like physical activities, where a lot of the injuries and a lot of the accidents are accidents. So it's not like somebody does it on purpose. It's usually the mistake of technique, or maybe even some outside factors like the ground was not too hard, the shoes are not proper, and etc. Also, of course, it's important to support all of your members emotionally. So if they have certain issues, you can't just say, oh, it's not concerned to me, it's not concerning cheerleading, therefore don't talk to me about it. But you have to support them no matter what, because their emotional stability and their emotional their emotional environment also affects the way that they perform in your club. Therefore, when they come and I guess whine to you about maybe like studies or like their relationships, family, you always have to listen to them as a leader, no matter what, because there are certain situations when a person is so emotionally exhausted that they can't fully function. And in this case, support from outside is very important. And if that person is you, then you have to provide the support that you can. Okay, now moving on to another part with the Ministry of Culture. By the way, I put in all of my slides, I put the name Minkul. It's kind of our abbreviation that our team has created when we are rebranding our page. So you could always refer to us as Minkul because I guess it is easier. And of course, it maybe sounds better. So yeah. And talking about the Ministry of Culture, Minkul, the risks are more large scale, yes. They can affect the whole community, not just you. For example, if you say something on the behalf of students to the administration can like create a whole policy out of it. Therefore, as a member of the student government and most importantly, as a leader of a ministry, you have to be very, very careful with what you say. It's better to always, before saying something, for example, if you're on a meeting with the administration, it's always important to write out a plan and be as detailed as possible in that plan so that you can say what you actually mean to say, so that the people could understand you correctly and can implement what you're saying in a correct manner. As I said, it can affect the whole community. Of course, it can affect your members, as I've mentioned with cheerleading. Of course, I guess minus the physical aspect, like the injuries. But for example, regarding the emotional aspect, it is the same. As a leader, you still have the responsibility to make sure that everyone in your team is in a good place emotionally. And if you can provide, of course, I mean, saying that, it doesn't mean that you have to do everything. Like if you were not able to succeed in helping your members emotionally, that means you're a failure. No, but try to do all that you can. And if you understand that you've done everything that you could, what's in your hands, but it still couldn't help, then of course, then the member could like seek other support. But in general, try to do your best to support your members in every way, because you as a leading figure, they rely on you in a lot of aspects. And I guess in summary, I can just make a small summary so that you understand again. So I talked about the differences between having leadership positions in the student life here and you. So in student clubs and in student government ministry. So here I've talked about how in the student government you work more behind the scenes than in clubs where you perform more. Also, you have more acquaintances in the Ministry of Culture than in a student club. It doesn't mean that you don't have any acquaintances, as I've explained earlier, but you certainly have less. And finally, when it comes to risks in student clubs, it's more limited to your members, but in student government and the Ministry of Culture, it can affect everyone. So you have to be more careful if you're a part of a bigger organization like that. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation. I hope it was kind of clear. So thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer them. You can write in the chat, as Lozat has said, or you can just speak out loud into the microphone. I can hear. You don't have to ask questions only regarding the information that I've shared. You can ask me about the clubs in general or anything. Thank you, Zarina. Or you can also, of course, ask me about like combining student life and studies if that's more interesting to you. Oh, I got a question here. How can we join MinCult? So at the start of not every semester, I guess at the start of every kind of academic year, so in the fall, we sent out an email about recruitment. So it was sent out at the start of September during this academic year. And the members, they had to at first fill out a Google form. I mean, future members, of course, they had to fill out the Google form where they wrote why they wanted to join the Ministry of Culture, what can they provide, what kind of experience they have, etc. Then they were invited to an interview, and then the final decision was carried out. Then I have another question. Thank you, Aida. And then I have another question from Khurmet. Did your participation in MinCult affect positively or negatively on your study/GPA? So I've been in the Ministry of Culture, unfortunately, only this year. Last year, I was the captain of the cheerleading team, but I can say that right now my grades are good. They are the same as they were last semester. So I guess in this sense, it just depends on, of course, there are some members who said that it's much harder for them to keep up their grades. But for me, it's the same, because me as a person, I work better when I have a lot of things going on. I hope you see what I mean, that when I'm more free, I feel like I get the illusion that there's more time on my hands than I do, and I end up wasting my time more. But when I have a lot of things on my plate, I tend to I guess divide my time more appropriately and use my time more effectively, and that can even influence my grades positively. To be honest, I can say just in general, like so I'm a third year student, and during my first year I was just a member of cheerleading team, and I also used to do other activities on the side, but they were kind of there weren't as many of them. And in that sense, when I didn't have as much things going on, to be honest, my grades were not as good. They were just average. But for some reason, I mean, not for some reason, I know why, when I became the captain of the cheerleading team, and then later when I became the part of the student government, my grades improved dramatically, and I was able to get the dean's list on that time, because as I've said previously, I could divide my time more effectively. And also, I think what influenced that is that being in a leadership team, in a leadership position, also makes you more confident as a person. And therefore, you probably know when you're more confident, and also affects your grades more, because you believe that you can learn, that you can acquire, and you can do everything that is asked from you. And that also influenced my grades positively as well. Then I got another question. How did you manage to participate in 2 clubs and also study? So as I said, in this case, the time management is extremely important. So it's good to have even like, I mean, a lot of you guys probably have a notebook with your like schedules, but I used to just fill it out merely like a sticky note and to do, and just write everything that I have to do. But then last year, I remember I got a notebook that actually had a timetable from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And I think that notebook kind of helped me a lot, because I wrote down exactly like these 2 hours I have a training with my members. These 2 hours I'll write my essay. These 2 hours I'll rest, and things like that. Of course, it isn't that you have to get specifically, but you actually plan out your time, not just what you have to do. I hope that answered your question. Then I have another question. Do you think it's possible to combine studying while maintaining high GPA, participating in club activities, and working part-time? Yes, I think it's possible. I had a lot of friends who are able to do that, and they worked even like in a few part-time jobs, and they were part of few clubs, and they were also even in the student government. And yes, that is possible, but in that case, you have to have an extremely, extremely good time management skills. And in these type of situations, you have to be prepared for potential burnouts, because at some points of time, for example, when you have midterms or finals, and then you have a performance, and then you have like some other things you have to do, it can get very, very overwhelming. And yes, so in this type what I can advise you when you have this type of situation where you want to do a lot of things, what I would what I would advise you is to take things one at a time. So, for example, you're studying and just focus, for example, 1 month on just your studies. Get a sense of what studying is like at university. Then when you understand that you're doing okay, or you, like me, you want to move, you want to do something, then you can go into a club. And then after participating in a club, maybe you understand that you have even more time. Then you can work part-time. I remember ICK from DSA, the main person in DSA, he told us that usually, like when being a student, working part-time and student clubs should come second after studies. So in that case, you just have to assess your work. Then I have another question. What kind of prestigiousness will being on Dean's list will give being on a Dean's list, as in your case? To be honest, I have to say that Dean's list, it doesn't provide you with like gifts or many things. Like it's not like you have to strive, and if you don't get the Dean's list, everything is bad. No. But there are some perks, of course. And first, of course, is that your stipend is increased by 5,000 tenge. So of course, so it's kind of nice. Like 5,000 tenge, of course, it's not like a huge sum of money that you have to die for, but it's a nice bonus that you could, for example, go out with your friends 2 extra times or 1 extra time, depending on how you go out. And also you get the diploma that you got the Dean's list, and your name is also written on the university website. I mean, not the university, it's usually on the school website. After every Dean's List ceremony, they upload the pictures of the people who got the Dean's List and their names. So I guess that is kind of good. And of course, everybody who knows you will be like, wow, that's so great. And your parents would be maybe more proud of you. So yes. Also, I just wanted to mention that I was also also like right now I'm also a peer advisor at AAU, so that also provided me with a lot of interesting opportunities. And if you have questions about that, of course you can ask me as well. So any more questions? I got another question. So it said, what if I want to join many clubs? I have a lot of interests, so I cannot choose 1 or 2, and I can't stay long in one club. I don't know what to do. To be honest, I had the same experience during my first year. When I opened the list with the clubs, I was kind of overwhelmed because there were so many things that I wanted to participate in, and everything seemed so interesting. But in that case, of course, you can like ask advice from your friends, from your family, and of course, the most important thing is to self-reflect to understand what you want to do. For example, in my case, when I just arrived at the university, I was a big K-pop fan, so I wanted to be in the K-pop club. Also, I was interested in learning French, and like I came with the dance background. I did dance for quite a long time before coming to university, so I couldn't choose which club to apply. Especially, I knew that I wanted to do dance, but there's so many options. You have the dance club, Real, and cheerleading, and contemporary, and Latino, everything. But what I told myself is that I want to try something new that I can do outside university. For example, just regular, not regular, but I mean like hip hop dancing or like contemporary dancing. Those classes are kind of available in your city. I'm not discouraging you from joining those clubs. I'm just telling my experience. So please don't say that like I'm saying bad things about other clubs. It's not like that. But like at that time I chose cheerleading because I knew that cheerleading is not something that I could probably do outside of university, because I haven't seen any cheerleading classes in the city. So I joined cheerleading and I didn't regret it at all, because it improved my flexibility a lot and improved my physical resilience, and it also proved to me that I am strong physically and emotionally, of course. But most importantly for me was the physical aspect, because me as a person, I always thought that I was quite weak physically. Like I thought I couldn't lift anything, but then I was able to like lift girls my size up on 3 meters, and it was nothing to me. And at that time I understood how strong I am. So in this case, if going from my example, you just have to self-reflect more and consider what you actually want. I would advise not joining too many clubs all at once, because it's better to take one thing at a time, because when you get overwhelmed, it's bad for your mental health and your physical health as well. I hope that kind of helped. I hope I didn't blah 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 too much on that. Any other questions? Maybe we still have a little bit of time, I think. You're welcome. Thank you very much for listening to my blabber. It was very nice. Oh, I have another question, I guess, from Gunel. Did you have problems related to sleep deprivation and depression due to a lot of tasks? I guess, yes, of course, because not everything is perfect in these kind of activities, and you do get times when I've mentioned before, you get overwhelmed with a lot of things. With the sleep, yes, but to be honest, I didn't really sleep like full 8 hours even when I didn't have clubs, because as I said previously, I'm the type of person who doesn't who when I don't have many things, I tend to procrastinate a lot. And even when I didn't have clubs, I sometimes couldn't get a good amount of sleep because I would procrastinate on my tasks and then do them late at night and wake up early in the morning. But when I was doing like all of these activities, again, I can't say depression. No, I didn't get depressed because I was always surrounded by people who were very supportive. So it actually helped me. Like when I feel sad, I would just come to my members and they would console me, and it was great. But with sleep deprivation, yes, it happens sometimes. But again, I would like to emphasize one more time, in this type of situations, it is very important to be good at time management, to give yourself enough time to rest and give yourself enough time to work. And also what you have to keep in mind when doing a lot of tasks like this related to student life is that you're, as I've said again before, you're a student first and then member of the club, worker second. At the university, you're a student first. Therefore, if you feel like you're not getting enough time to do your schoolwork and you're overwhelmed, it's okay to take a break. It's okay about that. Can somebody please take the leading position for a time being while I catch up on my work? That is completely fine in any organization at NU, I guess, because everybody understands that we are students and there's sometimes when we have a lot of tasks. So don't forget to take breaks sometimes as well. I got another question. Can I join the student government after the first semester? To be honest, it depends, but officially we have recruitments usually just once a year, so at the start of the first semester. But to find more information about that, you can just write an email to the ministry that you're interested in applying to and ask if they need more members or not, because there could be situations when some of the members leave in the middle of work because, as I said, some people get overwhelmed, some people don't have time, some people maybe didn't like working in the student government, so they leave. And at that point, the ministries can take more members from outside of the recruitment timeframe. That's usually in the beginning of the first semester.
Damelia, I think we need to move to our next speaker. But if you still have any questions for Damelia, you can, as she said, she's also a peer advisor, and you can ask her in our Telegram chat, ask our peer advisor. Thank you for your presentation, Damelia. It was real wonderful. And now we are moving to Baybek Davletyarov, who is a third year electrical and computer engineering student. And he will share his experience of finding passion for change and having a Harvard College project. So please welcome Baybek.
Thank you very much. Okay, I hope you see my screen. Yes?
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah. So I hope you see my screen. So, hello everyone. My name is Vivek, and I'm a third year electrical and computer engineering student at Nazarbayev University. So, in total, this is my fourth year at the NU, including 1 year of my foundation year. Today, I wanted to talk with you about social life at the NU and my personal experience with social life and as an engineering student. So before I start talking about this, I'd like to tell firstly about me. So this is what I have done before entering the Harvard project. As you see, there are a lot of things not connected to my major, which is engineering, but not just only my engineering studies. So today, particularly, I wanted to tell you more about HBER Asia Conference, which we held in 2019. So what is HBER, or fully Harvard Project for Asian and International Relations? It's a conference, totally student-run conference, largest annual, which is held in Asia Pacific region. So it's jointly organized by Harvard University and the second partner university. The partner university is any university in Central Asia, so they are chosen by the competition. I will later tell about this competition process. The topic for our conference was chosen as a passion for change, building a framework for digital transformation. And we had 6 different tracks, as you see here: media and culture, world economy, sustainable energy, security and diplomacy, business and technology, and social development. So the main aim of this conference is bring together people from different fields in the Central Asia or all over the world and foster them long-term relationships, uh, long-term relationships around the globe, and like let people make connections during this conference. So about details, we had the conference from 16 to 20 August. We invited more than 50 international speakers and 500 delegates from all over the world. The duration conference was 5 days. So what about previous host countries? Here, as you see, there were different countries which hosted HPAIR, and in 2019, for the first time, the conference was held in Central Asia, in Kazakhstan, in Astana, in particular at Nazarbayev University. In 2020, the conference was going to be held in Taipei. Unfortunately, it was cancelled due to COVID-19. So about procedures, firstly, I would like to tell about procedures for hosting HPAIR. If you see here, so hosting HPAIR in Astana, if we take back in time 1 year ago almost, like how it started and how it ended up. So the first, as I said before, the HPAIR is a totally student-run conference. So it's the organizing committee is fully consisted only of students. So there were an initiative group of students who wanted to bring Harvard this conference to Kazakhstan, and they took the permission from the university and started working on the bid book, which the bid book is like a book for 50, 80 pages, and every university prepare it and send it to Harvard committee to review. So it's like why this conference shall be brought to Kazakhstan, why this conference needs to be brought to Nazarbayev University. So this bid book was prepared and sent in January to the organizing committee, and as a result, the committee decided that this conference will be conducted at the Nazarbayev University. Just we want the opportunity to conduct this. So then we started to working on the contracts with the partners, prepare entire rundown logistics. Like I would tell more, but we have limited time here. So like if this is a small, maximal simplified version of what have we done. So it can be seen that we worked during the whole year to hold the H fair in summer of 2019 here in Kazakhstan. What about our organizing committee? Here you can see this is our organizing committee. Uh, as I said before, it's organized together with Harvard University and Host University or Nazarbayev University. There were 63 students, half of them NU students and half of them are Harvard students. And this is our group photo. Somewhere here on the right. This is our group photo on the first day when all of them were brought to Kazakhstan in summer. So as you see here, we have different departments in our conference. So I was a member of the operations department, and I will tell my experience being there. So our department was responsible for the preparation of the facilities. We were responsible for the logistics flow of the event, for the catering, accommodation for the delegates, working with external suppliers, like finding roads to Kazakhstan, finding the discounts for how to get in Kazakhstan. On the right, you can see our team members together with Harvard counterparts, or here our photo. So below you can see the schedule of this of our conference, and we were involved in every event. We had to uh, like I was responsible for the facilities at NU and outside. So because some events were held outside of NU, uh, I need to prepare the facilities to like, check the technical supplements and furniture, like the overall preparation of facilities, how to bring people there, like by buses or taxi and etc. So generally, I have chosen this department because of my previous experience as a volunteer and coordinator. I worked on many different events and did nearly the same job, but I found HPAIR as a great opportunity to apply all of this, my previous skills, and gain even more knowledge and skills. Because we worked with different people from outside and you inside, from with the managers, with different people. So I learned more like soft skills, communication skills, writing correspondence. I think this will be like, even we work with high level administration because we work with the AFC, like MFTA, Expo, Balance of Independence, and many other suppliers, companies like who helped us to organize this event. So this was very useful experience, but also our conference coincided with the fall semester, and we had all of us had to balance between our classes and between these conference days, because it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5 days, and also I had classes during this time, and I had to run between the classes and this conference time. So it was I would say it was very difficult because as you see, it's from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. And also at this time I had my classes. I think I told everything I want in short. Also, there is a small video I want to show you just to sum up everything I told, which was prepared for our media department to give you visual representation of how it was.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
thank you for your attention. Since we have limited time, I try to fit in it. So if you have any questions, I can answer your questions right now. So feel free to ask. If you have questions, you can contact me by email. Feel free to. So let me check. Sorry. Yeah, it's okay. Thank you, Zarina. So if you have any questions, if no, it's also okay. So there is a question about how I got there. Basically, just remember, there were a group of initiative students who were wanted to organize. We know each other already before because we worked on other different projects. So we decided. So we decided to start this team, and I was a member, and I was invited because, as I said, we already know each other from other different projects. I joined to this project. Except involving in HPA, what gave it to you? Sorry, I didn't understand your question. Could you please clarify what exactly you meant? Comment America. So I suppose it's about like what benefits. Uh, so generally, first of all, of course, I improved very much my communication skills, my writing correspondence skills, and working with external suppliers from in the city. I understood how like business works, how to run different papers, and many other things. Also, of course, it's about balancing between studies and social life because it was very difficult to maintain. Because I had like fall semester, we prepared, spring semester, we prepared, and also I had classes, and also we prepared during the summer, and also I had summer classes, so I had to balance between my always there was a balance between classes, between social activities, and also like I had to sleep. So uh, I learned a lot of things from that. Like this. I think I answered your question. And also, I learned more about different cultures because there were 500 people from different countries. Yes, it gave me a lot of networking skills. Oh, sorry, there are a lot of like, messages coming. Sorry, I lost. So yeah, networking skills because I knew many people from countries. It doesn't mean that I can directly apply to Harvard. Like maybe it can be some positive side. Of course, the first time I'm applying as a student, I need like my classes, my studies are more important when I'm applying. For example, if I apply to Harvard, you know. So only organize this conference doesn't mean that I will be like, accepted to the university. So I see one more question. When does the HPR conference going to be held and what are the main requirements to be delegated there? So the next HPR conference this year was going to be in the summer in the Taipei. Unfortunately, it was canceled due to COVID. So this year there is no conference. What about next year? We don't really know what's going to happen. So it's not announced yet. The main requirements were about your so this conference is for young leaders so it's mostly about your major what your field and where you're applying for so you had three stages of the applications like interview essay and just a review of the cv so it depended on where you apply so for example as I shown in the beginning 6 different tracks it depends on where you apply so you will have your personal interview with the leader of the track. So did you have previous experience organizing such events? Yes, I had, uh, but I was not like in the main organizing team, more like the coordinator. I was mostly working with the people as a coordinator of the volunteers team on different events, like in the city, like Astana Marathon, like 2018, 2019, 2017. So, and some concerts on Expo. So that was my previous background before I came to this project. Uh, did HPR cover all your expenses? Uh, so we had different sponsorships, not mm, we had different sponsorship. We covered different our expenses. Usually they covered our transportation fees. So yes, not all expenses, unfortunately. That's a new fund if I want to attend HPR in the future. Yes, we have opportunity to funding opportunities at our school, which can fund your trips. As for HPR in Astana, which was held in 2019, we had special option for, if I'm not mistaken, 30 or 50 of our students could attend this conference from the NU funding. So there was a few who selected to. Do you know other conferences similar to that one that will be coming this year? Yeah, I usually check them, but unfortunately, most of them are canceled because they cannot be held in person. So mostly they are online, but you don't have to. Mostly you don't have to pay any fees because they're online. You don't have to go anywhere or fly. So, but most of them are canceled, unfortunately, due to COVID. So I think that's all. I addressed all questions. If you still have some questions, I will answer. Uh, thank you very much. Is that?
Uh, Thank you, Babek, for your presentation. If you have any question for Babek, as he said, you can write an email to him. And now we're moving to our next speaker, Zarina Sadurbayeva. She is a junior economics student, and she will share her first year experience at Nazarbayev University. Please welcome Zarina.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. So hello everyone. I apologize for low quality of my video. But I think that it won't affect our presentation. So I just want to introduce myself. I'm third year economics major student, and currently I'm a member of only one club. So I'm head of HR department at Nazarbayev University Accounting and Auditing Club. And here's my motto that Armando Maksatna another. It means that always work for your dreams. So let's start. First of all, I want to say like a couple of words about why should you join student clubs. First of all, it will develop your soft skills, and the next you will learn how to work with a team, because club work is all about teamwork, and you will develop different skills like leadership, communication skills, and it's very useful in your future career. Next, you will get networking opportunities. You'll gain practical experience. You'll find people with similar interests. For example, if you are like love maybe dancing, and if you join like dance club, you'll like meet a lot of people who are also passionate about dancing, and maybe it's your own dream becoming good dancers. Next, it's like you will expand your resume. It's everyone knows that employees like when students were active in their student life and they were hardworking. So it shows that you didn't only study, but you also could come up with other extracurricular activities. And it's also not only about work, it's also about having good time with diverse of people. It's really fun experience. So as I mentioned today, I will talk about my first year experience at Nazarbayev University. I was directly admitted student and uh, I wanted to know more about Nazarbayev University, and maybe you all watched about different movie serials where were shown that Western movies where the different clubs, organizations, and people are working there. So it was my kind of dream to join some clubs and have like amazing student life. So when I first came to Nazarbayev University, I um, were like thinking which club should I join, and I decided to join student government my first year. It seemed for me very interesting and maybe very useful in my development as a person. Uh, I chose Ministry of Culture because it seemed for me very interesting, and I'm very happy that I joined and applied for this position. Maybe I wanted to join student government mainly because I wanted to feel that university because I didn't have opportunity being in foundation. And in first year, I wanted to know more people from the university and be active from my like, first days of the university. So as you see, we had a really great time. On the right side, it was our team. We had uh, good time together. And here it's a lot of people in student government. We were together in Burabai. It was really fun because being able to spend uh, amazing time with people. So I had really a lot of networking opportunities. So as Damelia said before, working in ministry, it's more behind work. Behind scene work. So we organize like different events and help to organize different clubs in holding the events like poetry nights or club fair, and help also DSA in managing the events. Next experience, when I had free time, I tried volunteering. Here's the pictures of different events where I was a volunteer. It was really fun because I had never volunteered before. So uh, I also met a lot of different uh, people with different ideas or different passions. It was also cool. So next thing, I really wanted to try a lot of maybe things at my first year. So I decided to join ID Dance Studio. Unfortunately, they are not working now, but they were very popular when I was first year student. So my main maybe goal was to try something new for me. And it was very good decision, I think, because it was my first time performing in the like stage, in the big stage. We performed in different Nazarbayev University events, at the university and other events, and I really liked it, and I uh, advise you to try new things and don't afraid. So here I also found a lot of friends. And lastly, I want to say that in the second semester of my first year, I decided to join ISEC. ISEC is International Non-Profitable Non-Governmental Organization. youth organization. As you see here, we are a lot of here's a lot of people, and it means that you will have a lot of opportunity. You'll meet a lot of people who have a similar interest as you, and I think it's great experience. So and it was my first time working as HR manager, human resources manager. So I mainly were focused on the like group work and the connections in the uh, club itself, in the organization itself. I managed how like people working and are they satisfied with the positions or not. So we had a great time. So as I said before, people who you meet in your maybe first year, you will be the people who will you be in other like courses. So in these clubs, I had a lot of I met a lot of people with whom I now maybe very good friends, and we always help each other. So here I want to say, so thank you for your attention. And to sum up, I want to say that never afraid trying something new and applying for the new positions, because it's really cool. And I think that it gives you more opportunities and a lot of useful experience what will you use in your future career development, because I think that by organizing events, being HR, or just holding meeting some people, you will gain a lot of things which will be useful in your future. So just try a lot of things. And it was only part of my first year. In the second year, I realized that I have to manage more about my major field clubs. So I decided to join then Ministry of Finance. So I had been in student government for 2 years then, and now I'm head of HR at Accounting and Auditing Club. So thank you very much for your attention. I think it was useful for you. If you have any questions. The first question was, did you leave clubs to join another? Is it possible to leave at all? In my personal experience was that I didn't leave like any clubs. It was my goal was to be in these clubs for one academic year. And if I liked it, I would like continue being in these clubs. But I was analyzing myself, and if it would be if it would be very good to be in this position, or you can just develop. So if you don't like this club and it doesn't suit you, of course you can leave it and join another clubs, and just to look for what you really like. So I hope I could answer your question. You can write your question to us. Will I see review this one? If yes, what are the requirements and how to apply? What if you had no background in the field? Thank you for your question. Yes, as HR department, I'm not sure if we will recruit in this next semester, but to know more about our club, you can um, follow our Instagram, no AAC in Instagram, and we post a lot of things about different opportunities in accounting and auditing sphere. I think it will be helpful. And what if you have no background in the field? It's okay because we don't like expect that first year students will have a lot of how to say background in the accounting and auditing sphere. You can say that maybe you are good at SMM, maybe you are a good communicator, so you can join another um, maybe not another, for example, PR. You can be PR manager or HR manager. So it doesn't mean that you have to have background. So don't afraid to apply. Always apply for the position what you like. I think that's all. Thank you for your questions.
Thank you,
Yes.
Zarina, for your presentation. It was a really wonderful and presentation about the first year experience at NEO. And now we are going to move to Aslana Karjoubai, who is a third year economics student, and she will share her experience at Nazarbayev University. Please welcome Aslana.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So, hi. Let me first of all share my screen with you. I hope that you can see it.
Yes, we
Can I?
can see it.
Okay. So, hello everyone again. I hope you're having a good time here during this MentorCon. So, what? First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Asana Kajobai, and I'm a junior student, and I'm a major in economics. And today my presentation is called Reflections because I'm going to share with you um, several things that I learned and I understood throughout the 3 years of my studies in the walls of NU. So I hope you will enjoy it. And even though sometimes maybe my like conclusions, or you can even say so my reflections are not going to be so related with the social life, but just in general, I just wanted to give you some good pieces of advice so that you can uh, actually have a good time in the university. So let's start. So first of all, I want to start with this one because many people who study in university always forgot about that, often forgot about that. So first of all, do not just study, create memories. I know that it is important. First of all, you came to the university to learn something new and so on, but at the very end, after the university will end, even right now, like I'm a third year student, I haven't finished university yet, but I already feel that the thing that I remember the most is not how, for example, is not the grades or is not the something like from the studies, but rather it's about memories. For example, how you go to some events at the university, or for example, how you even prepare for the finals. This is a very like a fun time to remember. That's why do not just like sit, I don't know, in the library if it's going to be offline, of course. Do not just sit in the library or in your room, on your dorm room, and just do not like skip all the university events, or I don't know, skip all the interesting gatherings with your friends or team buildings. Just go out and really create memories, because after 1 year, after 2 years, you are going to look back and you will think about those times with a pleasure and with a joy, because you actually uh, have had a good time with your friends and with the new people around you. So that's why do not forget to do that. So first, second thing is that you need to find like-minded people. What I mean by that is that, as you know, the networking skill is one of the most important soft skills that you can actually develop. That's why, first of all, when you come to the university, make like make a lot of new connections. I mean, like, it is a great time in the university to find the people who can actually who will help you in the future, or even sometimes they will help you in the ways that that you didn't even expect them to act. For example, I even heard the story that girl, like a girlfriend of mine, shared with her friend like a link to the program, and after that that friend of mine ended up working in a very big business company, just because at the right time she knew from the right person that there is a position open, so that she can apply to this, and now she worked there for 2 years, so there is like a good salary, good conditions, and a good experience. Okay, and apart from that, I mean, like, find like many people also in the field of your studies. For example, I as economic students, in the future want to work in the finance. That's why I try to find the people who are also passionate about finance, who are also passionate about accounting, so that so that we can nurture each other. Okay, that's why, for example, I went to accounting and auditing club at my freshman year. So that's why do not forget about that. Use and develop your networking skills as much as possible, because the it is actually the things that can help you in the future to find some new job, or even just to have friends. Okay, because from my experience, I can say that really good, you can find really like good friends, not in the school, but I think in the university. Okay, so next one. Third one is participate in different events and activities to find your passion. Okay, from the first year, I participated in the different events. I tried to challenge myself. For example, at school I was really shy. That's why I did not participate in events which included something like performing on the stage. But during my freshman year, I was a member of cheerleading club, and we actually performed dance and won the International Dance Olympiad of Kazakhstan in the field of cheerleading. And I also found out that I really like cases. That's why also it started at my freshman year. I took part in Mars Business Games, which was a real cool experience of the very fast case solving problem. That's why, yeah. And I also participated in, for example, a new student awards, in organizing a new student awards. It's this annual event. It was my first experience. It was my first time when I actually organized something big in the Walton University. That's why, yeah. Apart from the thing that you make a really good friends, you also challenge yourself, because you try to find something new, try something new. That's why, yeah, do not be afraid. Like, for example, as before Zarina said, do not be afraid to participate in the things that you have never did before, for example, like dancing or something like this, because it is a university, it is the right time when you can try all the different things, so that you can actually stop at something that you really like. Okay, for example, from I'm now in the third year of my studies, but I still interested in cases. I participate in different events organized by Changeland or organized by our club, so that I can practice those skills, because they can be very helpful for my future career as well. So the fourth thing, do not be afraid to apply for new position. What I'm talking about is that I have, first of all, I came to accounting and auditing club as a part, as a member of education department. We organized this like guest lectures and so on. But after that, I tried to change my position, so I became treasurer of this club, which was like a brand new experience for me. I have never tried this before, but what I learned is that like how I can defend our presentation on the meeting of the student fund so that they can provide you with funding. So I actually gained a lot of new skills. That's why I also challenged myself again, because it was something like stage performing, because I should like stay before in front of all these people and defend my like our club's presentation so that they can provide us with the money and so on. Or for example, in the case club, I also a member of case club. I also work there as part of SMM, but I have never also tried before to try my skills like in SMM and so on, like in managing social media. But yeah, I'm learning it right now and I'm enjoying the process. That's why even though I was afraid of these positions, I tried and I do not regret it because I gained something new. I learned something new. So fifth thing is that do not wait for opportunity, just create it for you or on your own. For example, I see a lot of people who just complain all the time that there is no, they cannot find any, I don't know, activities, events, or I don't know, they cannot find any competitions so that they can after that put this thing in their resume or CV and so on. But you don't need to wait for it. Okay, you don't need to wait for opportunity to come from the external sources. You as a student have a lot of power actually. That's why use this power in order to create something. Just because you're a student, most big companies just are so welcome to collaborate with you and create something great new. For example, this is two big examples uh, that I can show you. It is, for example, accounting identity club just create opportunity by not only for the club but also for the whole university, and collaborated with BI group, for example. And the main thing is that for the winners of the skate championship is going to get paid internship. Or for example, Case Club last year, Case Club organized business case competition with Magnum, where they also offered you internship in the finance department. So again, just do not complain about that you cannot find something. If you cannot find something, then you should create it on your own. And sixth thing is that your grades do not define you. Okay, first of all, you came to the university. At first place, you came to the university to learn something new, to gain some kind of knowledge, to develop your soft skills, to develop your hard skills, and so on. But you do not came just to work on your grades, because I see that a lot of students just struggle to make their grades look good. I know that it's important, but just do not forget to enjoy the process, because sometimes when you just stop, at least I don't know, when you are starting, stop to think about the grades and just learn, and I don't know, look and watch lecture just to learn something new, you will actually feel less anxiety, you will feel less overwhelmed, and you will just enjoy what you're learning. For example, if you're learning economics and if you complain about it a lot, just look at it from the other side, that it is something brand new, and then this is opportunity for you to learn something interesting about this whole complex system, how the for example, I don't know, different processes work in economics. That's why do not just like do not feel anxiety, do not be overwhelmed about your grades, because again, they do not define you. They do not just say that you are, I don't know, if you have low GPA, you're a stupid person, or if you have high GPA, you're like the very good person, or something like this. They show something, but they do not reflect everything that you have. There are a lot of people out there who are amazing people who do a lot of extracurricular stuff. For example, they perform, or they create some kind of commercial or videos. But even because they because they um, because they spend a lot of time on this external thing, sometimes their grades can suffer. But even though this doesn't say that they're so like inactive in the university social life, or that they're a bad person. No, they should just show something like a, they're just a measurement of your how you're well you're doing, but they do not define. So, and the last one is that uh, thing that again most of the students forget all the time, is that you need to take care of your mental and physical health. It is something that I learned already right now. I mean about the mental health, because it's very important. You will, if you feel if you always feel stressed, and if you have some kind of troubling thoughts, and if you don't know what to do, we have great resources out there in university, as for example as a new counseling center and a new peer support, where you can contact them and actually uh, like receive help that you need. Okay, that's why here I showed their Instagram, so that you can follow them, and they will tell you when there is like a free slots available, so that you can talk with the psychologist and receive professional help. And also about the physical health, unfortunately I couldn't find, I was not able to find good photos of our new um, sport complex, but just a picture of us when we participated in the basketball event. So what I'm saying is that you just because there are a lot of opportunities when you come to the university and we will study offline, that there are a lot of resources that you can use in order to take care of your physical health and your mental health, because it is very important. If you just feel burned, I mean like emotionally burned, it will not help your grades, it will not help your studies. That's why first of all take care of yourself, and after that pay attention to all the other things, because without the health you will not go a long way. Okay, so I think that's it for my presentations. I just want to say in the conclusion that I think that the university so far I did not enjoy so much my school years, but I am really enjoying my universities, and I can say that I found my best friends. Here I found what I'm going to do in the future, and here I found something that I can actually use in my future career. So thank you. Then, if you have some questions, you can ask right now. So if you don't have any other questions,
I think there's no question. Thank you, Asana, for your wonderful presentation. It was very informative.
thank you too.
I once again want to thank you all of the speakers for your time and for your presentation. And we hope that this session was productive and beneficial for our new students. I want to conclude this session right now. If you have any question to the speakers, you can contact them by the email, as they said, or you can ask your peer advisors in our Telegram chat. Um, we'll wait for you. I want to remind you that the second part of the MentorCon will happen today at 3 p.m. We will have a session about the researchers, how to find researchers, what are the drawbacks, the benefits of doing research at Nazarbayev University. So we'll wait for you at 3 p.m. Thank you, everyone, and have a good day.